You're watching Good Morning Suncoast at 5.
And good morning to you on this Labor Day. Here's a live look at radar this morning as we continue to closely watch a tropical threat in the Gulf. We're going to tell you where it's expected to go through.
Happening today, an extra crackdown on the roads as state police don't take a day off for Labor Day.
Plus, an Amber Alert for a missing 2-year-old boy. We're going to tell you what the mother says happened just moments before he was taken.
And look at this underwater video of our local water, the red tide impacts it reveals. Good Morning Suncoast begins right now. And good morning. It's a holiday, Labor Day. Glad you're with us. 5 o'clock. I'm Ray Collins.
And I'm Stephanie Webb. Thanks for waking up with us on this holiday morning. We feel your pain, folks. We feel your pain. All right, now over to John Scalzi to see what today holds.
Well, I'll tell you what, we're watching, of course, a tropical system down to our south. Right now it's called potential tropical cyclone. It will eventually be called Gordon, I think, as it moves out past the Florida Keys into the open waters. Right now it's not showing a lot of organization, but it is certainly a wet storm, and wet is probably what we will get around here with this storm. Not much more than that. There are no tropical storm watches or warnings up for our area, and there aren't likely to be. But to the north of us, in the northern Gulf Coast, there are, as this system is forecast to gain intensity. You can see where the watches and warnings are issued to the north. Now, we do have a tropical storm watch well out in Gulf waters and to our south. Locally, we do have a small craft advisory up for our area waters. So if you were thinking of boating today and it's a big boating day, you probably want to rethink that. It's going to be really choppy out there today. The winds are going to howl a little bit later on in the afternoon out in the open waters, so not a good day for boating. And there is the slight potential for some of the storms that do form a little bit later on today to be strong, perhaps even severe. So we'll watch for that. We're in the marginal category for severe weather a little bit later on. We'll show you the latest track coming up in just a few. Back to you.
All right, talk to you soon. Thank you, John. Should be pretty quiet today on the roads, not the usual morning commute situation. There is the scene right now in Manatee County. Not a single issue to report. Checking farther south in the northern half of Sarasota County. Nothing in the red yet. And the final maps, all good at 5:02 on this Labor Day Monday morning.
Well, it may be the holiday, but state troopers are not taking the day off.
Many of you might go to the beaches or barbecues or parties today, and more traffic will be on the road. Marla Spence has a preview now. She's live out in Sarasota County. Marla?
Hey, good morning, guys, and happy Labor Day. As people plan to enjoy their holiday, Florida Highway Patrol troopers will also be out in numbers watching the roads to make sure people are safe this Labor Day holiday. Now, the Florida Highway Patrol will not only be watching the roads closely, but they'll be looking for drunk drivers or anyone driving impaired or driving drowsy. Lieutenant Greg Bueno with the Florida Highway Patrol tells us troopers tend to see an increase in drivers making bad decisions like driving drunk during holidays like Labor Day. He tells us many times it's a result of people going to parties and not having a game plan on how they're going to get home.
The last thing that we want someone to do is try to convince themselves at a party or at a barbecue after they're consuming alcohol that they are okay to drive.
And Lieutenant Greg Bueno says if you plan to go somewhere today and you know you'll be drinking, have a game plan in place, like taking an Uber, having a friend take you home, or just simply staying at your location until you sober up. Reporting live in Sarasota, Marla Spence for ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
Hey, good ideas. Thank you, Marla. Holiday today, so many places are closed. Students on the Suncoast are off today. Banks are also closed. For a full list of all of the holiday closures in the Suncoast, you can find the information on our website, mysuncoast.com. Well, the search continues this morning for a fatal hit-and-run driver in eastern Manatee County. It happened on State Road 64 near Lake Manatee State Park early Sunday morning about 5:40 a.m. Sheriff deputies say 33-year-old Paul McComb of Bradenton was struck and killed. His car had broken down and he was on the side of the road. Another car heading east struck him and drove off. He was pronounced dead at the scene. If you can help solve this one and find that driver, call Crime Stoppers at 866-634-TIPS. An Amber Alert has been issued in Pinellas County for a missing 2-year-old boy. Largo police say mother and son were out walking Saturday night and accepted a ride from a man. The mother said she and the man argued and he punched her in the head, knocking her out. She says when she woke up in the woods hours later, the driver and her son were long gone. Police looking for 2-year-old Jordan Bellevue. She says the man knocked her out, identified himself as Antoine. He appeared to be in his mid-20s, had brown dreadlocks and gold teeth. He was driving a white Toyota Camry.
Well, closer to home, the Manatee County Sheriff's Office needs your help to find a missing teen. 14-year-old Lauren Hildebrand was last seen around 8 o'clock on Saturday night when she left her house to walk to the University Town Center Mall. Now, her parents say she never returned home last night. That night, she was last seen wearing jean shorts, a black hoodie, a floral blue tank top, and white Vans shoes. Well, if you've got plans to go fishing today, the rules have changed for a bit for snook and redfish here on the Suncoast. As those fish wash up among the thousands of other red tide casualties, Florida Fish and Wildlife has ordered temporary catch and release rules for both species from Anna Maria to Collier County. Now, snook season opened in the Gulf on Saturday, but Charter Captain Doug Ricciardi says he couldn't book one fishing excursion.
That's an important species for us because we're really known for them, and they're really great eating fish when they're open.
Now, less fishing meant less boaters on Saturday. The parking lot of the 10th Street boat ramp was mostly empty in the afternoon, and the few boaters that we spoke with say they kept their rods at home, figuring they wouldn't catch anything in the water. Now, that temporary order is in effect until September 26th.
A local underwater photographer is giving us a rare look at red tide from beneath the surface. The toxic algae bloom has killed hundreds of tons of sea life in the area over the past month. Now, here's the work of photographer Kurt Bowen. He says he took his first trip through Sarasota Bay in late August, spotted just some stone crabs, toadfish. A few days later, some same dismal scene a few miles north in the Gulf off Anna Maria Island.
Everything was dead, all the way from shellfish, crabs, fish, plants. Even the crabs were trying to get out of the water. They were climbing all the way to the very top of it, whatever they could get to just try and get out of the water.
Now, Bowen plans to take more dives throughout the year, hoping clarity in sea life returns by next summer. And now the latest red tide update from Mote Marine. Scientists report slight respiratory irritation and some dead fish at Manatee and Coquina beaches. This is video shot Sunday, actually on North Casey Key. In Sarasota County, these same conditions are being reported at Lido, Siesta, and Venice beaches. And while there's some dead fish at the North Venice Jetty and in Nokomis, Mote is not reporting any respiratory irritation on those specific beaches. And
you can find all of our red tide coverage, including answers to some of your most asked questions, online at mysuncoast.com. Well, this morning, a tropical storm watch could bring more rain, and other parts of the country are bracing for severe weather as well. ABC's Candace Gibson shows us where those storms are now.
This morning, a weather threat looming off Florida's coast. A system that'll likely become a tropical storm is taking shape and heading toward the Gulf of Mexico. The fast-moving storm is gaining strength, and forecasters fear people could get caught off guard.
Need everybody to let their friends know because folks are on vacation and they just don't know this is happening.
Meantime, on the East Coast, more rain. Up to 5 inches in Maryland led to multiple water rescues. In Hartford, outside Baltimore, crews suspended the search overnight for a missing woman. 34-year-old Melissa Lehu and her boyfriend were helping a stranded driver when rushing water swept her away.
It pushed her legs under the guardrail a little bit, and her head was below the water. I grabbed her hand and was trying to pull her up, and she was just gone within like a second.
The body of the driver the couple was trying to help was discovered. Rescuers say the conditions are too dangerous to continue the search for Lehu. In the heartland, relentless heavy rains and high winds. This ominous supercell thunderstorm spotted rotating along the horizon in Kalamazoo, Michigan. In Kansas, dangerous driving conditions as high winds gusting up to 65 miles an hour kick up dust and nearly blind this driver. The storm's wreaking havoc on college football's opening week, delaying games across the country. A fan sharing these dramatic images of the sky lighting up above the stadium in Nebraska, forcing the Huskers to cancel their first game of the season. Candace Gibson, ABC News, New York.
Still ahead on Good Morning Suncoast, a disturbing robocall, the message it had for Latinos.
And later in the hour, an investigation is underway this morning after a drowning in Newtown over the weekend. We'll tell you what we know so far, but first.
Here's a look outside our studios on this Labor Day Monday morning. Pretty quiet out there. It is 5:09. Let's get the forecast now from John Scalzi.
Yeah, well, I think we're going to see some rainfall today, no doubt about that, and some gusty winds as well. We'll watch for later in the day the potential of severe weather. Of course, we're still monitoring this possible tropical cyclone later in the afternoon. It could become a named storm, Gordon. All of the forecast models continue to be in very good agreement, pretty much where we left you on Friday, of a system that develops, moves offshore of Florida, and heads up toward Louisiana Delta region. We'll give you the complete update, latest track, and what to expect from this storm in just a few.
Zeus, are you trying to watch yourself again on TV? I know that you're excited about the new season of Animal Outtakes.
That's a boy. Good job.
New episodes, new animal adventures, and an all-new time.
Join us for Animal Outtakes every Saturday morning on ABC 7. And you can look for us at a new time starting September 15th.
From the moment she walked in the door, we stopped having to go to the pharmacy. Certain prescriptions, my health plan or the pharmacy wasn't even able to get here. And hospice provided them, and all we had to do was call up, and the next thing they know, there was another, a delivery.
So you've decided to go to college. That's cool. So pop quiz. Which is a better way to earn your degree? Commute to college and fill your gas tank, get stuck in traffic, drive in bad weather, try to find a parking space, walk a half-mile to class, or learn online at Independence University. In the park on a bench, on the beach on a towel, or on your couch with your kid, your campus is wherever you want it to be. You don't go to college. College goes to you. That's independence. That's Independence University. You schedule classes around your schedule, and all your supplies, including a brand new laptop and tablet, are included with tuition. At Independence U, you'll learn from professional instructors with real work experience. You'll get personal support in school and employment assistance when you graduate. Get your degree, but keep your life. That's independence. That's Independence University. So if you're really smart, you'd call now.
Call 1-800-965-2704.
Independence U, for an independent you.
Call 1-800-965-2704.
Coast Guard, we are taking on water.
The United States Coast Guard. They secure our ports and waterways, protect our environment, keep drugs away from our kids, and save lives. It's dangerous work. And in times of triumph or tragedy, the Coast Guard Foundation answers the call to support Coast Guard members and their families. Learn more at coastguardfoundation.org.
Stay connected to your clients and new customers using ABC 7 Digital Media Services. Our team of professionals provide a wide array of digital services to help you get the most out of your website. We specialize in building and helping you maintain the most effective digital solutions for your business. It's vital that your online presence stands out, so our experts will equip you with the best resources available. Trust ABC 7 Digital Media Services to give you the right tools to grow your business. Now your ABC 7 First Alert Weather Forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
Yeah, things pretty quiet out there right now. 75-degree temperature, 75-degree dew point, 100% relative humidity in that east wind blowing at about 8. What we are in store for today is a First Alert Weather Day. And the reason that I made it a First Alert Weather Day is because of the potential of some heavy rainfall as we head into the afternoon. Basically, this is going to be a day very similar to yesterday with a little bit more cloud cover, lots of rain showers around in the afternoon, only it's going to be an enhanced kind of day that we had yesterday because there'll be some heavier storms around, I think. Could lead to some ponding of water on roadways, and there's the slightest little potential of some severe weather later on today. So a 70% chance of showers as we head into the afternoon, and that lingers into the evening hours. An important drive time on this holiday weekend. We have a spinning area of low pressure down to the south. It does not have a closed low, so it cannot be called specifically a depression or a tropical storm yet. But it does look like it might be getting better organized. Hurricane Hunter aircraft will go out there and check it out later on this morning, give you a better idea of what's going on. We could have, certainly within the next 12 to 24 hours, a named storm, Gordon. It is forecast, as the computer model showed really for about a week now, to move out into the central Gulf waters, become stronger, and head up toward the Louisiana Delta region. Its impact on us, well, in terms of a windstorm or a tropical storm, it's going to be kind of minimal. We have no tropical storm watches or warnings up for our area. Our main threat from this storm is going to be perhaps an enhanced rainfall event. We'll see just how much rain we get out of this, but computer models right now suggest the heaviest of the rainstorms will be down to the south, and that's where all the flash flood watches and warnings are, not in our area. We still have a few river warnings. Of course, any heavy additional rainfall would exacerbate that situation, but we did have some time over the weekend to kind of dry out just a little bit, so that helped discharge some of that water out into the Gulf. That's good news. We have some storms already building over on the other coast, and they will continue to do so. So, potential tropical cyclone 7, as it is called right now, has 30-mile-an-hour winds and is moving to the west-northwest at 16. Forecast to become a tropical cyclone as early as late tonight or perhaps early tomorrow morning, and then being named Gordon, head up toward the Louisiana Delta region by midday Wednesday or so. The forecast track keeps it well off our coastline, so the only thing that we have going in terms of threat from this storm, and it's loosely called a threat, would be the additional rainfall that we don't really need. We'd like to dry out for a little bit, but we do have the potential of seeing some 2-inch rainfalls perhaps today with some of those storms that roll by, but definitely down to the south. That's where the heaviest of the rain is likely to fall. It's been forecast that way now for several days in a row. The computer models are all on board with that solution. So it looks like South Florida could get some serious flooding rain, 4, 5, 6-inch rainfalls. The system is not going to be a windstorm for us either, hence we don't have those tropical storm watches or warnings up. The time that it could become a tropical storm with tropical storm force winds, it's well offshore of us and on a forecast track that keeps getting farther and farther away. So that's the good news. The bad news is we do have, of course, marine influences, and it's not a good day for boating. Small craft advisory is up throughout today and tomorrow. So on this very big boating day, not so good. East winds coming in at about 20 knots or so later on this afternoon. First alert weather day because of those strong storms, slightest potential, 2% potential that there could be a brief spin up of a tornado under some of the storms, especially later in the day into the evening hours. We'll watch for that. Also, over the course of the next several days, good rain chance tomorrow, but then our rain chances start to trend down as this system moves inland. Again, it's a weak system. Its main influence on us is going to be some breezy conditions as well as some good downpours of rain. Back to you guys.
All right, thanks, John. Take a look outside and check your first alert traffic. All is quiet in Manatee County. No real delays or anything going on there just yet. In Sarasota County, those roads are not looking too bad either. If we can, there we go. In Sarasota County, those roads looking pretty decent. Little delay right there at Clark, but nothing to really be worried about at this time in the morning. And if you're headed farther south on this Labor Day, 75 and 41 as of right now are running smooth. It is 5:18. That is your first alert traffic. Well, the murder of an Iowa college student, Molly Tibbetts, allegedly at the hands of an undocumented immigrant, has sparked a backlash, even prompting robocall threats from a neo-Nazi group. Laura Terrell has the story.
She was stabbed to death by an invader from Mexico.
The 1.5-minute robocall is disturbing to hear. It starts by talking about the death of 20-year-old Molly Tibbetts and goes on to call for the death of all 58 million Latinos in the United States.
Refound America as whites only and get rid of them now. Every last one.
This is like literal white supremacy type of talk.
Pat Reinard runs Iowa's Starting Line, the website that exposed the robocall going out to several Des Moines residents Tuesday. The out-of-state group Road to Power is claiming responsibility.
It can only take 1 or 2 people to just put a couple bucks behind a robocall to spread all kinds of fear and angst in a community.
Our community members are very afraid.
Joe Henry, a leader in the local Latino community, says people are already on edge after an arrest last week in Tibbetts' murder.
We had young people last week who were confronted, even walking in parks.
But this robocall is taking it to a dangerous level.
This takes us back 50, 60 years. This takes us back to lynchings blaming a whole community.
He wants everyone in the community, all races, to stand up against hate.
These hateful messages are just going to continue when good people don't speak up. So this is a very important time.
Her father, Rob Tibbetts, also wrote a column in an Iowa newspaper over the weekend saying that while he encourages debate about immigration, but he asks that politicians stop using his daughter's death to advance their political agenda. Still to come on Good Morning Suncoast, some problems for those with an iPhone 8. We're going to tell you what Apple is doing to make that fix.
And next half hour, the 200-year-old National Museum in Rio de Janeiro engulfed by a massive fire. The millions of ancient artifacts destroyed. Stay with us.
Another pair of satisfied emotions. Looks to me like elation and maybe some amazement. It's part of the Honda Summer Spectacular event experience. You could say satisfaction comes standard here, just like the Honda Accord comes standard with a luxurious, roomy interior. All at the Honda Summer Spectacular event.
We see it all the time.
Visit your local Honda dealer and test drive the Honda Accord, 2018's North American Car of the Year.
We believe in patriotism. We believe in our nation's youth. We believe veterans earn their benefits through their service to our nation. We believe in a strong national security. We believe in our country. For 100 years, veterans have been impacting our nation through the American Legion, and we believe it makes a difference. If you believe, learn more at legion.org/webelieve.
Are you a soccer mom or dad? Regardless of their age or experience level, when your kids play soccer or any other sport, there's one person on the sideline who is key to help recognize and seek medical care for sports-related concussion. It's you. You need to know the signs and symptoms of concussion, and you need to act if you think your child has been injured. Remember, when in doubt, sit them out. To learn more, go to cdc.gov/concussion. 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004.
Every child follows a path in life. For many, that path will lead them to a door that gives them a place to grow, to learn, to belong, a place to forge their future. Because while many doors open, these doors transform. They did for us. Support your local Boys and Girls Clubs. Great futures start here.
That is a pretty good breakfast. You're not even eating.
Not hungry.
No? Why not? What's up?
Kath and I knew that Jenny had been partying a bit. Found out she tried heroin.
Most people don't know what to say about drugs, but we do. Visit us at drugfree.org.
Here's something we bet you didn't know. Nearly half of all cancers can be prevented. That's right, half. Nearly 50%, mostly by making small everyday changes in your diet and controlling your weight, walking more, eating less, and eating foods that help you and your family to seriously reduce the risk of cancer. And of course, by not smoking. Visit the Cancer Prevention Together We Can website and get a free 30-day planner filled with tips, recipes, stats, and more about protecting your family. Go to prevent50.org.
Welcome back. It is 5:23. You're watching the motorcycles roar through downtown Milwaukee yesterday as Harley-Davidson fans celebrated a huge anniversary. Thousands of riders took part in a parade marking the company's 115th anniversary. Now, Harley-Davidson was founded in Milwaukee way back in 1903, and the company is still headquartered there. People came from all over the world to mark the big event.
Parade of all the motorcycles.
My parents have been riding Harleys for a while, and they're in this parade.
Oh, they're in this parade?
They are in this parade.
Have you seen them go by yet?
Not yet, but they did visit me and drop off a supply package for college.
I'm having fun. I'm feeding people, I'm making a little money, but I'm having more fun. I'm enjoying the motorcycle.
I love that. According to the company website, Harley now employs close to 9,000 people here in the U.S. as well as abroad. Well, Apple has a new fix if you're having some problems with your iPhone 8. Plus, would you check into a hotel that has robot dinosaurs at the front desk?
Oh, of course.
Okay, of course.
The story in today's Tech Bites.
In today's Tech Bites, Apple's free fix for defecting iPhones.
Apple says a very small percentage of iPhone 8s may unexpectedly restart, freeze, or not turn on at all. You can check the Apple website to see if your phone is affected. And a new feature possibly coming to Twitter will let everyone on the platform know you're active.
And the site is testing a status indicator feature. A green dot will appear next to your handle if you're actively scrolling through Twitter. No word when or if Twitter will roll out the feature. It'd be interesting to see if the president's scrolling through at 2 a.m.
Yeah.
A mix of the future and the very distant past. Manning the front desk at a Tokyo hotel, it's using robot dinosaurs to greet guests.
The dinos process check-ins using a tablet system. They can also communicate with customers in 4 different languages.
Those are your Tech Bites.
Have a great day.
Tech Bites, sponsored by Safelite Auto Glass.
At Safelite Auto Glass, we really pride ourselves on making it easy for you to get your windshield fixed.
Turn in your science papers.
This teacher always puts her students first.
I did mine over
You did? Oh, I can't wait to read it.
So when she had auto glass damage, she chose Safelite. With Safelite, she could see exactly when we'd be there.
You must be Pascal.
Yes, ma'am. Saving her time. So she can save the science project.
Safelite repair, Safelite replace.
How did we test our Dixie Ultra plates? With 2 pounds of steak in each hand. Dixie Ultra. Stress tested so you can stress less at dinner.
Cozy up to a new look during the Colors Sweet Color Sale. From August 30th to September 10th, ask Sherwin-Williams and get 30% off paints and stains. Visit your neighborhood Sherwin-Williams store today.
It's hard to see when you're outside at night. It's time for the Atomic Beam Sunblast, the new solar-powered light that's super bright. Atomic Beam Sunblast lets you add a light anywhere, and the atomic solar panels charge the built-in lithium-ion battery quickly. Then the 180-degree motion sensor turns on the light when you get near and automatically turns off when you disappear. Look, here's a best-selling outdoor solar light, and here's the super bright Atomic Beam Sunblast. Get the super bright Atomic Beam Sunblast for only $19.99. But wait, call right now and you can double your order and get a second Sunblast, plus our best-selling Atomic Beam Flashlight. Just pay a separate fee. That's 2 Atomic Beam Sunblasts and the Atomic Beam Flashlight. Call now.
Call 1-800-431-6640. That's 1-800-431-6640. Or visit mysunblast.com. So call 1-800-431-6640. Order now.
Find out first at 4 on the Suncoast with ABC 7 News at 4. ABC 7 News at 4 starts with a detailed look at your first alert weather forecast to help you plan and prepare. We give you a fresh, fast-paced rundown of the day's top stories and videos, including breaking news, live updates, and traffic hotspots, all at a new, more convenient time. Find out first at 4, weekdays on ABC 7. Watch Saturdays at midnight on ABC 7. Premieres September 8th.
Without the letters A, B, and O, there's no mom. No dad. There's no Brittany. Because A's, B's, and O's determine your blood type. And we're missing all of them. That's why the American Red Cross needs people like you to help fill the gaps. Schedule your donation at redcrossblood.org.
Everything all right? Actually, you know how Tom had knee surgery? Sure. We found out Brad's been taking his painkillers. And it turns out he's been doing it for a while.
Most people don't know what to say about drugs, but we do. Visit us at drugfree.org.
You're watching Good Morning Suncoast at 5:30.
Good morning to you. Here's a live look at radar this morning as we continue to closely watch a tropical threat in the Gulf. Meteorologist John Scalzi will have the latest.
An investigation underway this morning after a drowning in Newtown.
Plus, a 200-year-old museum in Brazil engulfed by flames overnight. We'll tell you about some of the ancient artifacts that they're worried about this morning. We have those stories plus your first alert forecast right now on Good Morning Suncoast. And good morning to you. It is 5:30 on this Labor Day morning. I'm Stephanie Webb. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, I'm Ray Collins. John Scalzi is tracking a large green mass coming across southeastern Florida right now, John.
Yeah, soon to be our 7th named storm of the system, Gordon, I believe, as this system moves across the Florida Keys and out into the open waters. It'll probably be a depression a little bit later in the day today, and then eventually a named tropical storm as it moves further out into the Gulf waters. The system is producing a lot of rainfall in South Florida, and we have an enhanced chance of seeing some stronger storms around today as well. Though the main threat is down to the south, we could see some pretty good downpours of rain from time to time, leading some standing water on roadways and maybe some pull off to the side of the road kind of rain showers a little bit later on. Right now things are quiet, but we do have some storms building over on the other coast. No tropical storm watches or warnings up for our area, though watches have been changed to warnings for areas out in Gulf waters. Out here, you're going to get minimal tropical storm force winds within the next 24 hours, most likely. Small craft advisories closer to home. So if you were thinking about boating today, you know, I would stay in port because things are going to get a lot squirrelier as we head into the afternoon hours for these waters out here. You're going to get some choppy conditions, no doubt. We also have a marginal threat of severe weather in the southern tip of the state of Florida today, mostly in the form of some brief, short tornadoes. You often get that with these rapidly moving waves of storms that come at you from tropical systems. So there's about a 2% risk of a brief, quick tornado. Most of that threat is in South Florida and on the East Coast, but we are still in that watch box according to the Storm Prediction Center. So we'll keep an eye out for those storms later in the day particularly. Spaghetti plot models continue to show a pretty good agreement. All of that models clustering around the Louisiana Delta region, keeping it offshore of central Florida. Complete forecast for you coming up in a few.
All right, talk to you soon. Thank you, John. There's the roads right now. Nothing much to worry about so far this morning. There's the scene in Manatee County. All clear. Checking farther south. Here is northern Sarasota County. Not much to worry about so far. And then our final map of the south will indicate, well, what do you know? We do have some red there at the bottom of your screen at Hillsborough Boulevard down there in Northport. Some congestion early on 41 northbound. Otherwise, all clear at 5:32 on your Labor Day Monday morning.
Well, the investigation continues today into a drowning in Newtown near Coconut and 23rd. Police say someone was walking in the area yesterday morning and spotted an unconscious man around 8 o'clock in the morning yesterday and called 911. At this time, the victim has not yet been identified by police.
Developing overnight, Brazil's 200-year-old National Museum in Rio de Janeiro was engulfed by a massive fire. Look at this video. The museum held 20 million ancient artifacts. The fire is believed to have destroyed entire collections. Brazil's president called the blaze a sad day for all Brazilians and said the loss is insurmountable after 200 years of work and research and knowledge were all lost in that fire. The National Museum of Rio was founded back in 1818, making it the oldest historical institution in that country. No injuries reported, thankfully, and still no word yet as to what caused this major fire.
And now to those confirmations hearings set to begin tomorrow for Judge Brett Kavanaugh, President Trump's nominee for the Supreme Court Justice. ABC's Emily Rao is in Washington with the story.
Judge Brett Kavanaugh will go before the Senate Judiciary Committee starting on Tuesday, answering a wide range of questions about abortion, executive power, and his time in the George W. Bush White House.
This is not normal.
Senator Amy Klobuchar appearing on NBC's Meet the Press, echoing demands from Senate Democrats for more information and documents from Kavanaugh's time in the Bush White House.
We are not able to see 100,000 documents that the archivist has just, because the administration has said we can't see them.
But Republicans dismissing those concerns.
Democrats have more than enough information to understand that this is a highly qualified jurist.
Others in the Senate minority also suggesting the president chose Kavanaugh because of his views on executive power.
He chose the one person that has written that he should have immunity from any investigation and from any kind of prosecution that might result.
Democrats are expected to press the nominee to recuse himself from any cases that involve investigations against President Trump.
Should he recuse himself?
Listen, totally depends on the case.
Cases involving President Trump.
And I'm sure Judge Kavanaugh will follow the guidelines and recuse himself in cases where he should.
Judge Kavanaugh has done intense mock hearings to prepare for this week. Sources tell ABC News he is not expected to offer any sort of commitment to recuse himself from cases that might involve investigations of President Trump. Emily Rao, ABC News, Washington.
Well, President Trump's disapproval rating is at an all-time high right now. According to a Washington Post ABC News poll released on Friday, 60% of Americans disapprove of the job he's doing now as president, while 36% approve. Now, 53% believe Trump's interference with special counsel Robert Mueller's investigation rises to the level of obstruction of justice. And nearly half of those surveyed, 49%, saying Congress should start impeachment proceedings.
A week of ceremonies ended in final goodbyes yesterday for Senator John McCain. He was laid to rest in a private ceremony at the U.S. Naval Academy in Annapolis, Maryland. McCain's final resting place was next to his Academy classmate and longtime friend, Admiral Chuck Larson. They graduated together in 1958. Larson passed away 4 years ago. The two naval buddies forged a special bond at the Academy and remained friends for life. And according to Larson's widow, he and McCain decided more than 20 years ago to be buried next to each other. An amazing friendship, a bond. Here is a live shot right now of Capitol Hill. Hard to make it out right now, but the flag is back up to full staff after a week of honoring Senator McCain. I don't recall a senator in my lifetime honored to the extent that he was.
No, I watched so much of that coverage over the weekend, too. It was fascinating watching former presidents like George W. Bush and Barack Obama speak, his daughter speak. Oh, very emotional. Oh, yeah. My goodness. It was so Meghan McCain spoke as well. His wife spoke. So a lot of really cool tributes that were going on. They talk, and you learn so much about his life when you think you know as much as there is to know about John McCain. We learned a lot more this weekend, even.
As prolific as he was on Capitol Hill, he also, the prisoner of war status really made him very special to a lot of folks. He could have gone home, and he didn't, because other colleagues in the war were still being held. And there is a live shot, very hard to make out there, but you can see Old Glory there above the White House. Again, it is back at full mast as Senator McCain was laid to rest yesterday, as I said, in Annapolis, Maryland. On to other news now. Over the weekend, violence returned to Nicaragua. Clashes between the opposition and government left several injured, including a person who was hit by a gunshot. This new wave of violence comes 4 months after protests began against the government of President Daniel Ortega. Human rights groups say the protests have left more than 300 dead.
And take a look at this. Massive rainfall in southern China has wreaked havoc on the cities there. Emergency crews have been working around the clock to rescue trapped residents. Almost 130,000 people have been forced to leave their homes. Some cities under as much as 6 feet of water. That flooding has killed at least 2 people and caused over $150 million in damage.
Well, looking ahead to tomorrow now, students from Braden River, Palmetto, and Southeast high schools all preparing to go to Singapore for the Formula One Schools World Championship. It's the largest global STEM competition in the world. For over a year, these 5 high school students have been working hard to create a Formula race team car. It is 1/20th in scale.
We have to do everything from designing and manufacturing the car to developing our own team brand, marketing strategies, acquiring sponsorships. It's entirely self-funded, so we've had to raise over $50,000 by ourselves.
The team name is called Perspective. They'll face off with 51 teams of students from 23 different countries. Good luck to them. Wow.
Yeah, that's very impressive. Well, some high school students in Houston are spending time with puppies, all for a good cause, though. They're training these pups, about anywhere between 8 and 10 weeks old, to become guide dogs. And it's a program called the Longhorns Future Farmers of America. They started this whole dog training program about 5 years ago. Each of the students teach these puppies basic commands like sitting and staying. The dogs have all gone on to help visually impaired people in California, New York, and Canada. One student said she loves getting the chance to impact someone's life in such a unique way.
Still ahead on Good Morning Suncoast, happening today, an extra crackdown on the roads as state police don't take Labor Day off. After the break, we'll tell you the extra precautions they're taking to keep the roads safe for your holiday travel. So the live report on the way.
But first, here's a look outside. All quiet. It's all quiet right now, but things could get a little wetter later on today, right, John Scalzi?
Yeah, I think this continuation of showers and thunderstorms during the afternoon is probably a lock again today. The thing is, some of the storms could have enhanced rainfall, which means some very torrential downpours of rain, possibly leading to some ponding water on roadways and such later in the day. And there's a slight potential for severe weather as well. We'll talk about that. Drive time forecast if you are going to work today. Both the rain box and the wind box is checked. If I were a motorcyclist, I wouldn't want to be going over the Skyway Bridge a little bit later on this afternoon. It's going to be breezy, probably about a 20-mile-an-hour wind or so a little bit later on. We'll have gusty storms as well during the later afternoon and evening hours. We'll be right back with the forecast.
Judy here, I think hospice was a tremendous source of support for her.
Absolutely. With Jennifer and Kimberly and Liza's constant contact with us, coming in, just knowing that there was someone with knowledge there to back us up, to answer our questions, it made a world of difference.
What do you get when you cross your tired, aching back with this fragile egg? The Egg Sitter Cushion, an amazing new flex cushion that supports your backside and spine so well you can sit on an egg without breaking it. Incredible!
You want me to sit on this egg? Okay. Can't believe I'm doing this. I don't even feel it. It didn't even break? Oh, I was wondering about that. Now that's a good cushion.
The honeycomb design is constructed of Elasticor that absorbs pressure points by collapsing in on itself. That's why even this egg won't break under direct pressure. Now long days at the office will be more comfortable, dinner more enjoyable, and painful car rides a thing of the past. Get your Egg Sitter Support Cushion for just $39.99. It comes with a free non-slip washable cover and our 10-year comfort guarantee. But wait, call right now and you can get a second cushion. Just pay separate fee. Call now.
Call 1-800-232-1564. That's 1-800-232-1564. Call now or go to eggsitter.com. Order now.
Who else has been taking your prescriptions? Keep your medicine and your family safe and secure. Mind your meds. To learn how we can help, visit the Partnership for Drug-Free Kids at drugfree.org.
We've all heard how military veterans adjusting to the civilian world may have certain issues.
30. 70.
If only everyone had this issue. No matter what challenge they face, Easter Seals is here for America's veterans.
At Boys and Girls Clubs, it's not just about trying new things.
Tanya, come here.
Learning the right steps.
2, 3, 4.
Or making contact. It's not just about exploring the future. It's about helping them build it. It's about making a connection. It's about proving every kid and teen who enters our doors has what it takes. Great futures start here.
Now your ABC 7 First Alert Weather Forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
Air temperature at 75, dew point value at 75, 100% relative humidity, east-northeast wind coming in at 8. You'd hardly know anything is out there in the southern Atlantic and eventually Gulf waters right now with this kind of a billboard. But that is the situation. As we head into the afternoon, our wind speeds are going to go up just a little bit, but they'll be breezy, we can call it, coming in at about 20 miles per hour along the immediate coastline, and some gusts even higher than that. And so, consequently, we'll know something is going on, and that something, of course, is our potential tropical cyclone, which will likely be called Gordon and become a tropical cyclone as we head into, if not today, certainly later to early in the morning tomorrow. We have about a 70% chance of showers and thunderstorms this afternoon, and the thing is, some of them could produce some fairly heavy rainfall and have some gusty winds, as they'll be moving pretty fast, actually. They're already moving at a pretty good clip, and as this system strengthens and moves out into the Gulf waters, we'll get even more of that. Heavy rainfall down in the southern tip of the state. We'll continue to monitor here for the potential of some heavier showers moving through. It's good news that we got a couple of days of lesser amounts of rainfall, so we were able to kind of dry out just a little bit, and some of these rivers discharge out into the Gulf just a little bit as well. But nevertheless, any really heavy rains that come our way could exacerbate that situation and produce some ponding on roadways as well later today on this kind of busy drive time day. The forecast calls for generally a northwest motion of this system over the course of the next about 12 hours or so. Hurricane Hunter aircraft will go out and check it out, but it is very likely that these open, low-pressure area will develop a closed low circulation, become a tropical depression, and eventually a tropical storm by later tonight or early tomorrow morning. Out in Gulf waters, it will be far away from us, but it will have an impact, especially on northern Gulf Coast. There's a tropical surge watch up there now around the Louisiana Delta region, and the tropical storm watches have been changed to warnings for that area as the time frame now demands that. The forecast for us includes the possibility of some 1, maybe 2-inch rainfalls a little bit later on today. This is a 24-hour snapshot of what to expect. No, that shouldn't say Sunday through Wednesday. It should say today, Monday. And you can see some of the pockets here of some 1 to 2-inch rainfalls, but it's in the southern tip of the state. That's where the heavy rainfall will fall. That's where the flood watches are up right now as well. Tropical tracker shows that the system will develop into a tropical storm and have tropical storm force winds, but they will be far away from us, 20 to 60 nautical miles out in the Gulf waters if that develops. So what we will see is a breezy wind picking up probably around noon, going through the afternoon. Small craft advisories are up for our area waters, and I know this is an important boating day. Just be advised, it's going to be choppy out there. The system moves up toward Louisiana Delta, and they could see some problems, especially with rainfall, but also the potential of some severe weather as well. Our futurecast shows as we head through the afternoon, bands of showers moving through as early as the lunchtime hour. Some of them, as I mentioned, could produce some fairly heavy rainfall. And there's also the possibility, a slight possibility, about 2% possibility, that some of these storms could spin up a brief tornado later in the day. Most of that threat is in the southern tip of the state, but we got to keep that in the back of our minds, and we'll watch it for you, of course. Good day to have your First Alert weather app active on your phone in case any warnings come out. East wind coming in at about 20 knots today. Again, not a great day for beach and boating. And then as we head into the afternoon, First Alert weather day for the potential of those stronger storms. Then tomorrow, again, excellent rain chances, but we'll start to trend down those rain chances as the system moves away, makes landfall, and we return to that 50% chance of afternoon showers and thunderstorms. Back to you.
Thank you, John. Let's take a look outside and we'll check your First Alert traffic. Manatee County is still pretty quiet at this hour. Not too much going on. Little delay right there on 301, but not anything big going on. In Sarasota County, those roads are also pretty quiet as of this morning. Yay, holiday weekend. A little bit farther south, 75 and 41 are still pretty quiet at this hour. 548, that is your First Alert traffic. Well, today may be Labor Day, but state troopers are not taking the day off.
It'll be a busy day on the roads. People going to the beaches or going to parties. Marla Spence is live right now in Sarasota. A preview of the police extra coverage.
Good morning, guys, and happy Labor Day. As people plan to enjoy their holiday today, Florida Highway Patrol troopers will be out in numbers across the state as well in our local area. They'll be out watching roads to make sure people are following road rules this Labor Day. Now, most of all, they'll be checking and looking looking for drunk drivers on the road or anyone that's driving impaired or driving drowsy. Lieutenant Greg Bueno with the Florida Highway Patrol tells us troopers tend to see an increase in drivers making bad decisions and bad choices like driving drunk during holidays like Labor Day. He tells us many times it's a result of people going to parties and simply not having a game plan on how they're going to get home after drinking. He says make those decisions on how you're going to get home before going out today, whether it's getting in an Uber, a taxi, riding with a friend, or staying at your current location until you sober up.
Troopers are going to be out there again trying to stop a tragedy from occurring, because all too often, holiday weekends with the uptick in traffic, you know, we will see people out there making bad choices.
And Lieutenant Greg Bueno also said if you see a driver that you suspect to be drunk, to dial and call star FHP. That call will go straight to a dispatch center and a trooper will be dispatched to the scene. Reporting live in Sarasota, I'm Marla Spence for ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
Thank you, Marla. It's going to cost you more now to check your bags on United Airlines. The airline raised the prices for bags this past Friday. The first check bag now costs $30. That's up from $25. Second bag, $40, up from $35. United says the increase will allow it to invest in what it calls the overall customer experience. Last week, JetBlue announced it was also raising the price of checked bags by $5 a bag on its airline as well.
Well, here's the creepy, crawliest theft story we've had in a while. Thieves stole thousands of insects and reptiles from a Pennsylvania science center, and police think the culprits were actually current or past employees. Now, security footage that they have shows people with plastic containers holding insects that are now missing. In fact, more than $40,000 worth of rare reptiles and bugs are gone. So why steal all these creatures? To resell them.
We've got exotic creatures from all over the world up there, and some were endangered species as well. Thankfully, we didn't lose all of those, and we're very happy to still have the creatures we do, but, you know, thousands of creatures were taken.
Oh, and speaking of creepy creatures, you know what else is missing?
What?
The fifth deadliest spider in the world, Ray, the six-eyed sand spider. It's a cousin of the brown recluse spider because it hides itself in the sand.
Oh, people stole them to resell them.
Stole them. Like, I feel like you should just be really careful with this one. Like, know what you're stealing. You don't want that thing getting loose in the house.
All those bugs, too.
Oh, no thank you.
That would bug me. 5:51 right now, says that humor. There's a shot outside the door here of the downtown skyline looking south toward city of Sarasota, you tried to say.
That is right. You're watching Good Morning Suncoast right here on ABC 7.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
How do you open tough jar lids? Do you try this one? Or this one? Or how about this one?
Honey?
This is the future. Shouldn't there be a robot for this by now? There is. Introducing RoboTwist, the robotic jar opener that easily twists off even the toughest lids. Just set it down, press the button, and watch it work. First, the RoboStrong vise locks down tight. Then the powerful twisting action unscrews the lid. RoboTwist is yours for the special introductory price of just $19.99. That's right, the robotic jar opener that easily twists off even the toughest lids, all for just $19.99. Whether the jar is big or small, RoboTwist can open them all. Supplies are limited, so don't delay. Here's how to get yours today.
Call 1-800-347-1073. That's 1-800-347-1073. Or order online at buyrobotwist.com.
Hi, I'm Janelle Hale, founder and CEO of the National Breast Cancer Foundation. No one should face breast cancer alone. When I was diagnosed 36 years ago, there was no internet, and I had to make a decision with little information. Early detection saved my life. It could save yours too. To learn what every woman needs to know about breast cancer, visit nbcf.org/hope.
My name is Stephen Jaffe. The law firm's name is Farmer Jaffe.
One of the beautiful things about Julius is he's always smiling, and it becomes infectious. The fact that Julius has a disability has absolutely nothing to do with the quality of work that he's done. Just a great person you want on your staff.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to disabilitieswork.employflorida.com.
Patriotism. It inspires passionate debate. It's worn like a badge of honor with good reason, because it means love and devotion for one's country. But what really makes up this country of ours? It's the people. To love America is to love all Americans. This year, patriotism shouldn't just be about pride of country. It should be about love. Love beyond age, sexuality, disability, race, religion, and other labels. Because love has no labels.
Welcome back. It is 5:54, and here's some of the top stories that we've been following for you today.
Lightning is suspected in a house fire over the weekend that gutted a mobile home in Englewood. Wow. The couple who lived there says they were not home at the time.
Plus, Florida Fish and Wildlife has put a temporary order that both snook and redfish are catch and release right now due to all that red tide. That order runs through September the 26th.
And 5 Manatee County high school students are off to the Far East for a competition. The students are going to Singapore with their small model of a race car. They'll compete against 51 teams from 23 countries. What a great experience they'll have.
Absolutely. And now over to John Scalzi, who's watching a little more rain in our forecast this afternoon again.
Yes, indeed. The good news is that our tropical system, potential tropical cyclone Gordon, will stay far away from us offshore, but its effect will be felt on the Suncoast by the moisture that will be brought in. So gusty afternoon thunderstorms are likely. Also, heavy rain contained within some of these thunderstorms may produce some severe thunderstorms. We'll watch for that. The potential exists for perhaps some isolated brief tornadoes in the state of Florida today, along the west coast of Florida, but particularly in the southern part of the state. But it's worth watching, and we will have your First Alert weather app on the ready. Back to you.
All right, talk to you soon. Still an amber alert in effect right now in Pinellas County. Did your phone go off over the weekend?
It did, yes, in the middle of the night over the weekend, yes.
Yeah, right.
Yes, we'll have more information on that as well. You're watching Good Morning Suncoast. The news continues on ABC 7.